All right, we've done a couple of videos about how to size like two rings that are soldered together, how to size it as one ring, which I don't really like to do, but sometimes you have to. But occasionally we get the job where somebody says, I want to separate the two rings. So I've had that job go south on me just enough that I let everybody know that I won't know if it'll come apart till I know if it won't come apart. So anyhow, that's what this job was. So if you'll look right here, that, as you can see here, there's two bands. This band on the outside, or is it the inside? It's this ring, okay? This band here is what they call a guard, and it's got these two pear-shaped rubies on it. This ring is the engagement ring, and they're soldered together, and they want to separate it. And I wish I would have gotten a video before I did it, but look what happened when I started to separate it. Ooh, that doesn't look very good, does it? So let me show you what's going on here. That these two, let me rephrase it. This ring here had been sized once before, because you can see there was a piece here to here. So this ring had never been sized until it got sized up as two rings as one. So here's a solid piece right here that they sized it with. So as I start taking it apart, everything starts coming unglued. But now we'll finish taking it apart and see what kind of a mess we've got. And yes, I told this customer this could happen. So let's see, let me think how I want to do this. All right, I think the first thing I want to do is get this piece out of here. All right. All right. So this is the piece we took out, and remember that little extra piece, that came out as well. So now this is what we look like now. This side is the engagement ring, this side is the guard. This is completely separated, so now all I have to worry about is getting this solder joint loosened up here. Come on. I don't have a very good hold of it, so it'll probably pop out of my tweezers before this happens. And let me get a better angle. All right, now I got a better angle here. Maybe a better, well, so much for better holds. Let's keep going here. Haha. So give me a second and I'll show you what I have. All right, so we don't have as big a mess as I thought we were gonna have. That this ring, we're not doing anything with. They just wanted to separate it, and I don't know why. But this ring, they wanted to separate it and size it down. So right now it's an 8 and it needs to go to a 6.5. So let's kind of set that up and I'll show you how I can use these two pieces. What I did was I bent the shank kind of close together to kind of get some semblance of taking some size out of it. So here, they want to go to a 6.5, which is right there. So that's the gap I have to fill. What do these pieces look like? That might look right here. See, the way I bent it, oops, I dropped it. The way I bent this, just to kind of get some semblance of trying to figure the size out, well, let me do what most jewelers spend most of their life doing. Let me find that thing I just dropped on the floor. All right, here's a professional tip for other jewelers out there. As I'm sweeping, I see it right here, but I haven't finished sweeping over here. And the rule of thumb is when you find what you're looking for, you drop everything and you pick it up and put it somewhere safe, and then finish sweeping your floor. And because I'm in a hurry and I don't feel like going through this, I have what I call a sweep hole. It's where I just put this stuff out of the way, and I'll go through it later.
Okay.
All right, so this is how it fit together, and we just separated them, but remember it came out in pieces. So this is what we have now. And remember that piece we dropped on the floor, and then I found it, and I said, put it in a safe spot? I must have lied because I didn't put it in a safe spot, and I can't find it. But this, the guard, let me get it out of here. This we're not doing anything with. They just want it removed. So now what I have to do, this is approximately the size it's going to. So what I have to do is now bridge this gap. I'll show you how I do it. First thing, just kind of clean and square these edges up. All right, so that's the gap we got to fill. And look at that, I got a piece that fits that just perfectly. So let's see if it'll stay in place. It might. Yep. All right, give me a second, I'm going to show you a trick. All right, so what I want you to pay attention to, this side is lined up, this side over here is not. And so many jewelers try to get it perfect, and there's no need to, because I've got a concept, I just call it turning two pieces into one piece. So right now this ring is two pieces. It's the ring with a gap in it, and it's the little piece of sizing stock. That if I would have moved this ring or turned it, that would have fallen out. Now, look at that. It's now one piece. Let me show you what we do next. All right, so now, to straighten this out, if I was trying to do that and that piece was still loose, it would take me forever. Look at that, what'd it take me? 2 seconds to get that joint lined up? Now all I gotta do is flux it, get a piece of solder here. Solder it in place, and then we'll clean it and polish it. Look at that, right on a 6.5. We took this apart yesterday. That when it came apart, it just kind of, one of the pieces fell in my tray, which is what that tray is designed for. Well, it fell onto a watch battery thing. You can kind of see the spot where it melted right here. Well, that's what melted. So I got to get that melted plastic off. So I'm just going to use a torch and just basically turn that plastic back into pure carbon. And it'll just fall right off here in a minute when I throw it in the cleaner.